Que lo que, Knicks fans. For those that don't know que lo que, that's what's up. What's up? We got that Spanish flavor in there. Welcome to another episode. This is episode 7 of Knicks Fans Wilding, the return of Triple M. I was away handling business in ATL. We didn't handle any business, man. Very disappointing time in ATL. And I brought some friends to chop it up with me about that disappointment, man. As always, I'm here with my guy, Don Juan. Tell the people what's really good.
Yeah, what's going on, Knicks fans? How y'all doing, man? It's been a stressful few days. I mean, it's been hard to deal with. I mean, I feel like I've been going through my own therapy session through these last couple of days, just trying to, look at the bright side and try to be positive. But damn, it's so hard, especially with these few years of just having PTSD, of just being real hopeful. But hey, us Knicks fans, we stand up for the punch. We're real loyal. We don't give up. We stand here.
We here.
Yeah.
Hey, don't worry, bro. You're gonna let it out. You're gonna let this therapy out with us right now. And I'm also joined by my guy, this guy right here. He's the man on Twitter. He's captain, just saving everybody because he's just been so positive in the toxic Knicks Twitter that it's been. You've seen him on the morning drive. He gets everybody started. You find everything on the Knicks Corner. That's his new content. You got everything. He works a lot with Coach Fa, who is on the Off the Ball. As always, we are on the Off the Ball network, so you could just see us on the Off the Ball. But it's my main guy, Danny B. Tell the people it was really good, bro.
Yo, what's up, dude? What's up? Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Welcome, Danny.
Danny, man. It's a pleasure to have you here, bro. And I know Juan has a burning question, man. We was debating. Me and him were fighting over, and he has to ask you this burning question for you, bro.
Do it, man. What do you got?
Yeah, so I'm wondering, like, if you live right by me, because, usually in the morning I'm walking my dog, and I see somebody, like, your complexion, light skin, beard, and all that, wearing Knicks hat. Like, yo, is that Danny B? So I got a question. I mean, what kind of car do you drive? Because especially that car is memorable. We see it every day.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Yeah, man. It's a black RAV4, dude. And you know what you got to look for is the seat covers, dude. If I got the Knicks logos on the seat covers, that's definitely me. You know what I mean? But point your fingers up, dude, because that's where I'm at. I'm in the neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to not be on the highways going crazy, hit the potholes, lose the phone. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Hear that.
So yeah, dude, I'm around, dude. Central Islip, East Islip, but kind of like middle of the island. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, Danny. I mean, keep up the good work. Soon the Knicks are gonna have to give you that Lexus that's behind the basket, man. Keep working.
I'll take that with the white tires.
Fire.
They've had that at the Garden for a while now, man.
Yeah, I mean, they just want to separate, but my seats is right there, bro. Next year, my season tickets is right there, so they got to get that up out of there because I want my seats back. But yeah, Danny,
hopefully, man, next season.
The morning drive, bro, I just wanted to ask you briefly how that got started because it's so interesting, bro, because I be checking you sometimes because you hit me with some stats and I'll be like, how the heck does he know that? You be like, Randle came out with 7 minutes and 31 seconds and we brought him back in with 5 minutes and 29. I'm like, no way he remembered that right there in the morning drive. How do you remember all those things?
So, man, while I'm watching the game, usually I'm taking notes, you know what I mean? Right. And when I first did it, like the first couple of times, I just it was just random. Like I was just on my way to work one time and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to turn the camera on and just say a couple of things. So I think I had like a video of like 3.5 minutes or something. So I put it up on Twitter and I check it back and it like only 2 minutes and 20 seconds were cut. You know what I mean? Because you can only upload so much. So I was like, oh shit, that kind of sucks. I cut my thing in half. But from what I put out there, so many people still saw it and started, saying like, oh dude, this is awesome. Keep doing it. So I was like, all right, I'll do another one. You know what I mean? I put another one up and I tried to keep it short. Obviously, I knew I had to keep it to 2 minutes. And I just figured like a quick, 2-minute video that's on Twitter. You don't have to leave it. You know what I mean? And it's just straight to the point. I figured it's just easier to consume. Like you got so many podcasts out there that are 45 minutes, an hour long. And I'm cool with it. I love it. But it's just so hard to get to everybody's every week. You know what I mean? So it's tough. I just figured if I could do like a quick 2-minute in, it would work. So it's just funny, man. I did 1, I did 2, and then, 3, 4, they just kept growing. So I just figured I'll just keep it going as long as, people are interested. So I think I'm at like think I'm at like 38 or something like that, 37 videos that I did so far.
I'm having some
So, yeah,
technical
dope.
difficulty, Juan, right here. You hear me?
Yeah, you're good on
Yeah,
our
we hear
side.
you, bro. We hear you.
Yeah, man. So let's get into it, Danny, man. I love you, beer, but that's it, bro. We gotta talk about these Knicks.
Let's do it, bro.
Tough, man. It was tough in the ATL. I went down there and they were just giving it to me, man. I was up
I'm
there with
sure.
the energy and the fire. I was at the bar. If you haven't seen the video, just saying it's real quiet in here after game 2 loss. That just didn't look right.
Hopefully you
after
left before the game ended.
No, I was there for game 2. We won that game. So I was
yeah,
there
yeah.
All right.
talking
That's
my
right.
smack.
That's
I was
right.
there talking my smack.
That's
Game
right, because the
3, I
video
was
was
at the game.
I
Game
got you.
3, I
Yeah,
was
because it
at
was
the game.
wild.
That was a loss. But yeah, Friday was not good. Knicks just 94 points. You're just not gonna win a playoff game scoring 94 points. And then Sunday,
96, bro.
wow, it's just been bad. I want to start with you, Danny. What have you seen any? Who are you blaming for this? And have you seen any positives so far?
I'm looking at it as like a total team thing. You know what I mean? Because if we're out here saying Big 15 all season long, when we're looking at losses, you got to look at it as a team. You know, Big 15, and it's a Big 15 when we lose. So I can't put it all on Julius, although other people have been stepping up here and there. But as a whole, we're clearly we're just not playing at a level. I seen somebody say on Twitter like 2 weeks ago, or maybe like more like a week ago, Knicks are kind of playing like regular season ball still. You know what I mean? They really never stepped it up and brought that playoff game. Plus, they haven't been playing the game that brought them into the playoffs to begin with. You know what I mean? Reggie Bullock was shooting lights out. Everybody was shooting lights out. Randle, RJ, everybody. And nobody's making the shots that they were making all season long now. And I think Atlanta's done a great job of adjustments. And you see the double teams come at Randle, right? And they've came all season, so he should be used to that. But I feel like the small adjustments that I'm seeing Atlanta make is in terms of their footwork, right? So when they're covering Randle, they know he's going to be looking to go baseline. So when they're bringing the double, they're cutting that path to the baseline off, and he doesn't have that go-to now anymore. You know what I mean? So now he's got to find something else, and that extra time it's taken to think, it's costing us, and it's either going to kind of turn into a turnover or a missed shot. And so it's not just him, you know what I mean? I just feel like it's everything. Plus, you saw Coach throw Rose and Taj in the starting lineup the last 2 games. That's tough. And I mean, everybody's been screaming for it for how long, but I just feel like we're at the end line. It's tough to change it, you know what I mean? And now how you go back, it's kind of tough to do that. Yeah. So I think that's why he held out so long, because he didn't want to make the change and then feel a certain way about going back. But it's done at a point of no return. You know what I mean? And I think that, when EP was on the court, there was a lot of times where things didn't go the right way. He was missing layups, free throws, causing turnovers. But the offense was still able to work through Randle to a degree. And then Rose would come off after us buying that time and help put those points up. So we're getting those in the beginning now, but now you see in the stretches where the bench would come in and have those, rowdy, runs. We're not having that. For some reason, it's just not coming with just Burks and IQ. So, going back to the original question, I just think it's a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? The adjustments by Atlanta, Randle having a tough go because they're making it, just tough for him overall. And then just our guys just not knocking them down like we did all season. I just feel it's just everything, so it's tough to watch, man. It really is. It's frustrating.
Danny B letting some venting out. Ooh, I loved it, bro. I loved it, man. That's some great points. You made a lot of valid points there. But before I follow up, Don Juan, what you got to say? Because I know you said you had therapy the last 2 days, man. How you feeling, Don?
Yeah, let it out, man.
Yeah, it's been tough, bro, because it's like, I think I mentioned in the last podcast where it seems like we just got the rug pulled out from under us, like especially how we ended the year. And that West Coast trip, especially because the offense was just on a whole nother level. Guys are making shots that really, it was probably everybody's best performance throughout their career. I mean, Bullock was going off. I never seen him play a role in any team in his life like he was with the Knicks in that run. Randle, I mean, you've seen the season he's been playing, from MIP to MVP consideration, All-Star. He had a great season. So to have this letdown is huge, especially because I even upped my expectations once we clinched, I'm over here like, all right, we definitely beating the Hawks. and even before we was on 4th seed, I thought even if we faced the Bucks, we could definitely get one game. And here we are against the Hawks with just one game through 4, and I didn't even.
The problem is we're not playing like we did then. You know what I mean? That West Coast trip,
man.
Now looking back, that West Coast trip was the best ball that we played all season.
For sure.
You know what I mean? That Suns game against the Lakers, I just feel like we were playing at such a higher level, and we had so much more of a complete game. We were covering the boards. We had little turnovers. We had assists going around. Everybody was hitting. You saw the numbers in the 40s between Randle, Bullock, RJ. Everybody was hitting. So it's just like we're not playing that ball, and this is the time that it needs to happen. You know what I mean? So that's what's the most frustrating and, like you said, Juan, a little bit disappointing. You know what I mean? Because that run that they had built that expectations up, and then we got to where we needed to, and we took 3 steps back.
Yeah, I mean, the frustrating part for me so far is you look at game 1, we was a RJ steal away from being up 2-0 easily. It could have easily been up 2-0 if RJ gets that steal and Bogdanovich doesn't get that 3. And we're talking different here on this show right now. But what I saw in Atlanta, like I said, I was in the building for game 3. I mean, Hawks fans really, really brought it to Randle. That overrated chant was loud. And I feel like the frustrating part, I disagree with you as far, Danny, as far as the Payton thing, because I feel like Payton, he was just out of it already. He's just out of it. But the frustrating part for me is that, we talked about the Big 15, you mentioned that, but we haven't used that Big 15. I'm not into Frank Hogg, I'm not a Frank Stan and stuff, but we had to mix it up, give these guys a different look. You look at Nate McMillan, he's just been mixing it up. Every game, he brings Trae Young in a different situation. He may take him out early in the 3rd, bring him back 3 minutes into the 3rd. He's switching it up game by game, and that's the playoffs, strategic, everything.
100% right.
And we're looking at every aspect of it. And the Knicks, like you guys just mentioned, that they have just not been able to adapt. Julius Randle, he's getting to his spots, and he's taking shots that he's made all season. But unfortunately, it's not falling for him, and he continues to force and press it, and you mentioned it as well, Danny, just that split second thinking right there, kicking it out or just getting to your spot a little faster. It makes all the difference in the world. The Hawks are loading up, they're playing aggressive, and man,
they're playing the way that we need to play.
Exactly.
I mean, going into the series, I wasn't really looking as their defense to be a problem to us, because they were just really known for their offense. They have a lot of weapons offensively, but I thought that was our edge over them. Our defense was gonna come through for us, and unfortunately, even that hasn't even been like it was.
Not where it needs to be, not where it needs to be.
It's been tough. But Daddy, you mentioned the Julius Randle struggles. I want to harp on him a little more. He's averaging 16 points a game, shooting 27% from the field. He's shooting 33% from threes. He's actually shooting a little better from threes because he doesn't take it. He gets run off that 3 point. He brings it in. And I just want to ask you, these 4-game sample size, there's been a lot of noise, especially on Twitter, as far as, just again, to get rid of Julius Randle train is picking up steam. Are you looking at these 4 games and just putting them as a whole? And is it something like, are you not paying him? Are you giving up on Julius Randle?
No, I'm definitely not giving up on him, man. If you were to give up on him, you would have never seen the season that we had for him this year.
Great point.
You know what I mean? So listen, it's just another step. He's not going to be able to do everything, and he's at a tough go, man. I just think that for some reason he's overthinking it. Everything is it's not flowing. You know what I mean? It's not coming to him, and him just going with the flow of the game. He's forcing things, like you just said. He's hesitating taking that 3, and because he's not taking it, first of all, it's not going down. Second of all, he's second guessing himself. So now the next time that he's in that spot, he's gonna think maybe I should just pass it. And he's been doing that a lot more, man. And I think it's just throwing him off. I hate trying to pigeonhole, what exactly it is, because it's so tough to get in his head without asking him, what is the reason that, you're having these struggles. But from taking a look from a fan standpoint, I would definitely say it's definitely mental. I think that during the season he was letting the flow of the game happen more naturally within what he was doing. He was trusting his decisions.
Mhm.
And when you're an athlete, I'm sure you guys know, when you're playing a sport, you got to trust that first instinct, because that first instinct is usually the right play to make. And when you see those hesitations happen, he's not trusting it. So I just think that he's not picking the right spots for his shots. You mentioned before, sometimes he's getting to those spots and, in those baseline jumpers, and they're not going down. I don't think that he's able to get to his spots as quickly as he was, because Atlanta knows where his spots are. You know what I mean? And going back to what you said before about adjustments, that's one thing that I really was looking forward to in the beginning of the playoffs, was what kind of adjustments Tibbs was going to make. And he hasn't made too many. He really hasn't made too many. I was going to say too many of this or that.
Besides the Rose,
yeah, other than the starting lineup.
I felt like that was needed. I mean, that was needed to go. But
you know what? I feel like it was needed to try, but you should have done it earlier on. And I know that timing, the window kind of was tough because Rose got COVID, and when Payton got hurt and just things, it just didn't work. But I just feel like when we were here, you know what I mean? Like, listen, game 2, it was a grind. We pulled it out. Game 1, it was a grind, and we just lost by 2. So I just think we didn't need to change the starting lineup like that. You know what I mean? Listen, put Payton in, it first whistle, pull him out. I don't care. You know what I mean? But at least you have that punch off the bench, and then you could do it again in 3 minutes. Like you said, it's playoffs. You know what I mean? You could do things so much differently, and really change the game.
That's a great point.
Game to game.
I feel like, maybe the Hawks, that was a mental win right there. Like, look, these guys started paying all season, and now they're changing it up on us. Like, that's like a mental win right there for the Hawks. But Don Juan, what about you, man? What you thinking about Julius Randle this season? And are you getting off the Randle train already after these 4 games, like a lot of people are?
I'm not. I mean, I became more of a believer this season.
Me too.
I was, as soon as the first, maybe first 2 months of the season, I'm like, we gotta, cut bait. Let's trade this guy, get some picks and whatnot, because I didn't really think we would be in this situation that we are. So, but saying that, Randall's had such a great year. How can you not at least consider, like, give him another try?
And listen, he has another year. We don't got to pay him right now.
Yeah, we got him 1 more year. So why not see what we got in him? I know before we actually had a conversation where I think it was when it was towards the end of the season where we were talking about if we should pay him or not. I was one of the advocates to say we should try to see if we could pay him now, so we could save the money in the long run. But the way he's played as of late, I'm taking that back. I'm gonna just wait it out, play it out. But tough. It doesn't mean that I want to trade him. Nah, I don't want to trade him. I want to keep him and see what we got. Yeah, we've underperformed right now in the playoffs, but we see the potential on this team.
Listen, man.
We know there's a clear board at
point guard.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose has filled it seamlessly, but that Payton move definitely, I think, threw off a rhythm there, because even the second unit is not the same. So that's why I thought that move was like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of mentality.
Right. And I agree, and I look at it as like, listen, we won game 2. Yeah. Atlanta had to come out and make a change in game 3 or do something different game 3. And instead we did.
In Tibbs' defense, we won game 2, but we took it in the second half. And in the second half, D-Rose started. So,
I agree. But that's because I just feel like he had that energy. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at the game on Sunday, Rose had 16 points in the first half, was killing it. Every time you look up who scored, Rose. Second half, he had 2 points. So
he was definitely tired.
Plus adjustments. You said it earlier, man. Yep, McMillan's good at that, dude, and he made those adjustments. You know what I mean? Definitely neutralized them. So it's listen, we got to figure it out, and our guys got to hit shots. You know what I mean?
But yeah, just a quick point for me on that Randle train. Listen, we all been Knicks fans for a long, long time. And this season has just been maybe a season we never see again. A Cinderella season. Knicks were projected to have 22.5 wins, and they nearly doubled that, led by Julius Randle. And his max, we talked about this a lot in previous episodes, it is not that high as far as Supermax guys. So you can
26
get him.
mil.
And what this series just proved to me is something that I already knew. Julius Randle is a very good basketball player, but he is your number two or number three guy in the championship team. He cannot lead your squad. And I already knew that. This series just showed me it more. But I am not here ready to get rid of the Randall trade. I will
No
still
way.
give Randall his money this summer if he really wanted it.
We got
And
assets.
yeah, we
We
got
got
assets. That's
space.
the
We
thing
got
we always
room.
talk about.
Give
The
the
Knicks
guys
have
money.
assets. Yeah,
Listen,
we
he
could
helped
make
reset this
mistakes.
culture. To me, that's the biggest win, straight up, is the culture change. You know what I
For
mean?
real, man.
Because it doesn't even matter if we had 24 wins, 20, 30 wins, 34 wins, 37 wins. We still changed the culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's what matters, dude. We are a team that's going to work hard no matter what. I think that, we're not, Tibbs ain't going nowhere. Most of the staff ain't going anywhere. I think we're going to keep a majority of the core. Everybody knows what, upgrades need to be made, what wings are going to be possibly stay, possibly go. But I think because we're going to keep the majority of that, the culture will stay intact. So moving now to next season, we have a lot to work and build
yeah,
upon. You know what I mean? We really laid a nice foundation, dude. It's reminiscent of the Nets. You know what I mean? What kind of drew? I hate the Nets. I
let's
understand,
not
but
mention Brooklyn
what
here, man.
what they did before the
I
superstars
agree with
came,
you. Yeah, I agree with you.
that is what we just did this season. And we didn't have to mortgage our future. And we don't need to go that route. We ain't buying the championships. We did it on our own and we're staying right here. So
For sure,
let's
man.
go,
But
bro. Win or
let's not
lose
talk
next
about
game.
next year. Let's not talk about next year yet, Danny, because we
Let's
still
talk
got
next
one more
game, bro.
game. Let's talk about. I
We
just
got
before we go into the
possible
next
more
game,
games.
I want to talk about the Clint Capella comments. I know you guys have heard of it. Juan, you have the
Whack.
audio there. We need to listen to that.
I got you.
That was nasty, man.
Yes.
So that's what happened. We can do it too. We can be physical, but we can win games as well. And now we're coming to your home to win this game again. They send you on vacation. Push it.
Wow, man. I just want to start off by saying Hawks players and Hawks fans are soft. Yes, you heard it here. They are soft. I was out there at the bar going crazy. I put up that video. It was going crazy. I seen Hawks fans liking it. I found that weird. I was like, I wonder why they're liking it.
I would
And
never,
I was at the
ever.
game and I was cheering and stuff like that. And man, after Sunday's loss, when they're up 3-1, you see Hawks fans and Hawks players chest out. You see Capella's comment. You see people all over my replies. It was a joke, man. Everybody was talking they stuff like, you was at because I was like at I forgot the restaurant bar, whatever it was. It was like a Buffalo Wild Wings type of thing, and everybody's like, oh, you talking smack in Buffalo Wild Wings, and I'm like, oh, now you guys want to say something.
Right,
Now
it's been
when
up
it's
for a week.
3-1, it's been up for a week, and now you guys are up 3-1, and now you want to talk, man. I just got no respect for these fans and players because, bro, like you gotta talk stuff in the moment. You see me, I'm not backing down. Knicks down 3-1. I'm still talking my smack. I'm still
Hell
doing
yeah.
everything, man. So what do you think about Capella's comment, Danny?
Man, I thought that was whack. He's just listen. First of all, you should never give another team motivation, and especially our
Exactly.
team, man.
Facts.
We proved all season long that all we
Facts.
do is eat off that. So one, I get that. The other side of that coin is if we really need that motivation to get us going, how much do we deserve to get going? And it is what it is, you know what I mean? It's a game of ebbs and flows, you know what I mean? Confidence, lack of confidence, it's just cycles, So I don't care. I'll take any gas I can, dude. When we played the Lakers and we beat them and there was no LeBron or AD, I didn't care. We got the win. That's all that mattered, bro. A win's a win. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with it, man. I think I just think it was whack for him to start talking. You might as well just wait till you win one more game,
Exactly.
And what's awesome is as I heard that in my head, I'm thinking, man, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm about me. Like I don't even care what they're thinking. And then 5 minutes later, I check back again, and you see that's exactly what Rose and Randall both said. So it's just like, man, those are my guys. They know exactly what to be thinking, how to be thinking it, and the way to take it. And man, I couldn't be more happy with their response. I posted it up before. Freaking, I love those guys, man. That's exactly how I am, bro. Say less.
Say less. For
You
sure.
didn't win
Well,
yet. You didn't, dude.
not
Kobe
yet.
said there's more work to be done for a reason.
Mhm.
And
You know what I
that
mean? And that's
closeout game is
Kobe.
tough. That closeout game is real tough, man. It's always tough to close a team out. They got to win 4 games. But Juan, briefly talk about that Capella comment for you.
Man, I was pissed, bro. I was so pissed. I mean, it gave me a little extra pump in the gym. I actually saw that while I was at the gym, got a little extra
Did
pump.
an extra
So
set of every workout.
seriously, but I could only imagine how those players felt listening to that. Like, oh, okay. Granted, they said they don't care, but I know they heard it, whether they wanted to hear it or not. Someone played it, and I know that's just like, okay.
And
Now
you know
you're really
Reggie's with
sparking
the
the fire.
shits.
Because
You know?
really, they've
I
been
hope
looking.
so.
I feel like they've been looking, especially Randle. He's been looking for some type of fire, something to spark him up. And even
He
though
should have it though.
the Atlanta fans didn't do it, maybe like you said, Mario, that overrated comment was a little harsh. But now he's coming back home, Game 5, down 3-1. You spark a little fire on this team's ass, get the fans
Let's
behind
go.
you.
Let's go.
And you get this Capella comment that the fans are gonna come in there just remembering that and just gonna be on his ass. He's gonna get the Trey Young treatment he was getting those first
Oh
2 games.
yeah,
For
absolutely,
sure.
man. I wish I could get up in there.
Hopefully
Can't
it
wait,
swings
I
the
know.
momentum, baby.
It's my mom's
with it,
birthday.
man.
She's turning a nice round number. I was ready to say, "Ma, I love you," but I'm sorry. It's Game
Knicks,
5.
bro.
I had the tickets, but I couldn't, man. But let's wrap this show up, man. Game 5, exactly what we
Dude.
want to talk about. Game
Let's go.
5. Doom or gloom for the Knicks is over. Win or go home, literally. All right. I got a question for you guys, quickly. Don Juan, I'm gonna start with you. If the Knicks lose Game 5, would this season be a disappointment for you? And my next question is, what do you view as Game 5? Is it over here in New York, or are we going to Atlanta?
All right.
Oh,
So-
Don is gonna say he's done. Look at his face. Look at his face.
Nah,
He's done,
I'm not
Danny, he's
done.
Danny.
I'm not done. I feel like we're going to Atlanta for sure. We're going to Atlanta for sure.
And that's
think
gonna be
that-
a zoo.
I just think that it's not going to be a disappointment in terms of the overall season, but I'm going to be disappointed because of the fashion of how these few games in Atlanta were just so disappointing that I'm not sure, unless we win that game tomorrow, I'm not sure if I can turn around and be like, damn, this was great. This was a great year. Like, yeah, it was good, but it's just the fashion. We played so good. We had that grit, that grind that got us here, and we didn't even bring it. Like, why even show up?
Right.
Yeah.
Granted, we were 4th seed, but why even show up?
We never played like a 4 seed, man. We played like a 7-8 seed, and we can't even say that because look at the 7-8 seeds. You know what I mean? Like they're freaking balling out right now.
That's a fact, though.
Yeah, man.
So-
Wizards came out. What about you, Danny? You viewing this season as a disappointment if we lose, and what are your expectations for Game 5 at the Garden?
All right, so you guys already know where I'm coming from. This season, in my eyes, is a win. Just like I said before, it's for the culture alone. You know what I mean? The postseason, different story. You know, that alone, depending on what happens tomorrow, you know, if we end up losing, will feel like a disappointment for the fact that we never ended up playing the way that we got into the playoffs. You know what I mean? If we played that way, this whole series would have been totally different. We were that pumped, Juan, exactly like you said, for a reason. You know what I mean? Like we were showing why we deserved to play in the playoffs. And then we get there and we start playing like we're a 25 win team, you know what I mean? Or a 20. It's just, so that's tough. I think tomorrow is going to be a freaking dogfight, man. I really do. I would love to see Tibbs have a short leash with the team, period. You know what I mean? If, you know, Hawks start going up by 6, 7, call that timeout. You know what I mean? They get to 11, call a timeout. I don't give a shit if you waste all your timeouts. You know what I mean? You can't let that spacing keep going, you know? And I feel like that's where it got away from us, you know, going 2 games back, you know, going into halftime. I think if I remember right, it was like a 22-5 run.
You
that they went
remember
on.
right. You remember right.
I gotta be humble, bro. I gotta be humble, you know. But yeah, dude. So that was tough. And then the last game, you know, they just had a couple of runs right before halftime. Hawks hit 3 threes. You know, and we were still only down like 4 or so. But
Yeah, I forgot to mention this. Real quick
third
before you
quarter.
Start, Danny.
Yeah.
Trey Young, he had 3 fouls, man. 3 fouls, and we didn't
Stay
attack
on
him.
I knew
had
that
Reggie
about that.
Bullock lallygagging in the quarter. The guy actually did an up and down. I don't know if that's a real call in the NBA, but that's how we call it in the streets when we playing in the playground. He had an up and down on Trey Young. I feel like that was such a momentum killer right there. Knicks they were down 9. They could have cut it to 7. There's a 2-on-1 break with Trey Young there with 3 fouls. He's not trying to foul, and he's not going to block your shot. why are you going up and down? I found that so frustrating. I felt like that killed the
He
vibe, man.
hesitated, bro. He waited
Killed the
too long. Like
vibe.
you saw RJ under the rim. Like, what are you doing? You know, like, and he still gave him a high five. But I mean, dude, you
Frustrating.
know what I
I
mean?
thought.
But it's tough. Like, I don't know if you remember. I think like maybe 6 games before the season ended, Reggie had a fast break and he went up to dunk it and he like barely got it. And it was like more of like I'm about to dunk it, but I'm just gonna use my fingers to like push it in. You know, like so I could see why he was like, what am I gonna? But like you said, man, go at him, man. There was in game 2, Collins had 4 fouls and didn't play a majority of like the third quarter. And again, we didn't go at him. Like all we gotta do is get him one more time, 2 more time. Now he's limited. So in my eyes, when we saw Trey had 3 last game, I just knew we weren't going to go at it because we haven't used that strategy at all. So I just feel like it's just been something that hasn't been untapped yet. But it is what it is. It's a learning experience. I still think that, like I said, tomorrow's going to be a dogfight. I think we come out, we go hard, we get the win, we go back to Atlanta, and that's going to be – I'd rather wait after this game to talk about that because that's a whole nother animal, man, going back to Atlanta to close it out. So
For real, man. I mean, I feel like Capella's comments definitely going to give fuel to these players. The Garden is going to be rocking. The Garden is going to be rocking, and I hope the players just come out. You just said it. Took the words right out of my mouth. We got to hit our shots. Reggie, you can't go over something on the threes, man. We need you. You've been there all season.
No points.
Come on. You can't do that.
Knox had 2 points.
RJ showed something game 4. He didn't show nothing game 3, but we need more from RJ and Randle. Randle.
I like what I saw RJ.
Quick.
Well, RJ's second half last game, I feel like he just played so much more like himself. You know what I mean? So I pray, please, knocking on wood, that carries over the next game. He
became the youngest Knicks to score over 20. So that's, I feel like the players, man. Who are the 2 players that have success this postseason? It's been Rose and Taj. And what do those guys have? Playoff experience, So this season, even if we lose tomorrow, it's not going to be doom gloom for me because it gave our guys some playoff experience. We got a couple guys that I think are going to be here a long time with RJ quickly. These guys are going to be
here.
Even Mitch.
Obi, can we just real quick talk about how
you forgot to mention Obi? That's the third one
man.
Right there. That's the third Knick right there.
Yeah, dude, man. Let's talk about Obi. Where has this Obi been all season? Is it the fans? Did the fans excite him like he wasn't dating?
Obi finally figured it out.
Man. He's been playing, and I like what I saw at the end of the game, man. Little sprinkle bars tips that played Randle and Obi, and they did a couple damage. So game 5, man. Let's see. What you thinking about Obi, Danny? What you seen from him?
I'm loving how he finally figured it out, dude. All season long, he struggled, and I feel like he's finally watched enough footage of himself and the spots. Because think about it, if you're getting the same amount of time in the same part of the game, playing with the same guys over and over and over again, you got to be coming into same patterns and developing habits. So you got to be able to look at that and be like, okay, well, where can I improve? What can I do better? And I feel like that's what he really did. And at the end of the season, you started seeing that confidence raise and raise and raise. He had a 9-point game, 12-point game. He had 8 points the other night in a playoff game, So I just think he's finally figured it out. And he's going to be dangerous because when he's allowed to play his normal game, that rim running, that I feel like he hasn't even posted up. He just hasn't played his normal game that he was killing it in college in. So when he's able to have a little bit more of that freedom next season and incorporate what he's learned from this season, man, he's gonna be dangerous, dude. He is. I think. Listen, a lot of people hate on him because of his age, but everybody develops differently, man. And this kid won all those accolades for a reason, So he's smart. He's going to figure it out.
Yeah, man. He's 23 years old. That's a little old, but that's still young, man. That's still young. Randle, look at the year he's having, 26, having a most improved all-star season at 26. So he'll pick it up. What do you think about Obi, Don Juan?
Man, it seems like he's putting it all together at the right time, man. And I feel like the fans definitely playing a part, but I also think that his numbers called upon, and that's what this team has been about. And granted, is happening in the playoffs where you would want other people to come up and show what they got. But Obi, man, I feel like he caught a lot of flack this season because of other rookies blowing up with Tyrese Halliburton starting off good. I mean, Edwards, yeah, he's number one pick, but all these rookies that with this class, Obi was supposed to be a top 4 pick, and he fell to us. So everybody was like, "Oh, you guys got to steal." I mean, I didn't expect that. Like I said, I wanted Halliburton, but Obi was a great prize too. The only reason I think that he didn't get to show too much was because of Randle. But there was ways to sneak him in there, but fortunately, he has been putting it all together. His corner 3, which is I've been screaming, once he starts hitting those, it's the game over. He's gonna find a way, or we just have to play him because we need more shooting. Shooting is what we need to really get this offense going. And I like Randle really in the post. He's been great out of the post this year, but if we can mix some inside outside offense, it'll be great. But as of right now, Obi, Derrick Rose, and Taj have been the players that have shown up this playoffs.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Wow. The numbers show it too.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be mayhem at the Garden tomorrow. I cannot wait. Game 5.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah,
Knicks fans, if you came and watched this episode, it was kind of a cheer up. I had Danny B here because he cheers people up. It's
positive vibes only.
We're gonna be in Game 6 Friday in Atlanta. We're gonna be there. We're gonna be there, man.
We're not looking at a lottery pick. You know what I'm saying?
Not,
like
we're not. That's just a big step.
I'm gonna leave everybody with this one piece right here, right? Because as a Knicks fan for the last 6, 7, 8 years, you could go further back. However long whoever's watching this has been a fan, right? They've probably experienced more, doom and gloom and shit years than good years, right? So I feel like Knicks fans, for the most part, are conditioned to get towards the end of the season and then look to the lottery. You know what I mean? And this season was not that. It was a culture change, a culture reset. So that includes the fans' mindsets needed to be reset also. You know what I mean? Like, we got to lock in with this team. We're a playoff team, man. Look at the Spurs, right? All these years where they're making the playoffs. Think about how many picks that they missed out on because they never fell low enough to be able to go to a lottery. You know what I mean? That's where we're going. You know what I mean? We're trying to be a playoff team. We're trying to be, a contender. That's where we're going to be. So you got to get out the mindset, like, get to the end of the season, look to the lottery, give me all the goods. You know what I mean? This is different now. We got a core. We got a culture. Let's upgrade it, and we're good. So I feel like
that's a lot of valid points, and the Hawks, they made their moves in the offseason. They signed Bogdanovich, they signed Gallinari, they spent a lot of money, and we didn't do anything. And that's fine.
We tried to just put a team on the floor.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Atlanta is on a different timeline, and I'm not even trying to talk smack, but I see them second half cap for the rest because they have to pay John Collins this summer, they have to pay Trae Young next summer. And they still got all these guys on the books, so it's just like, and they're gonna be good enough not to fall into the lottery. And they're going to be right there in the middle for always. And we're just not at that timeline. So, man, we're going to be good, like you said, Danny, man.
Dude, you summed it up perfectly, bro, right? We are competing with a team that just retooled themselves last offseason to be a contender. And we didn't. So now give this team a chance to do what the Hawks did. Think about now where we're going to be. We're already competing with a team that did that. And now give us the opportunity to do that. We're obviously going to jump up a level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At least our center. They don't have no injuries. We're missing our center.
Man.
We're missing Mitchell
Robinson.
Robinson.
A lot of people say he's injury prone, but listen, even if he plays 70% of the time, that 70% of the time is going to be a lock, and it's going to put us to where we need to be. You know what I mean?
Like
and look, it did.
A freak a little bit this year.
This year was just a freak, man. That stuff, it's not like normal injuries and stuff. With the hand, that finger was a weird injury.
Yeah, yo, Danny, man, you dropped a couple gems here on Knicks Fans Wallet. We appreciate you for coming on.
Dude, thank you guys for having me.
Good job, bros. And man,
appreciate you guys.
Game 5 tomorrow at the Garden. I'm gonna holla at y'all.
Danny, always welcome, my guy.
Definitely, dude. Yo, appreciate